Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Happy Tuesday. Had to get on with the clips yesterday. I understand some of you had some overcast weather, but I'm sure it got dark and cold still. But what a historic thing. Next one's in Mallorca, just so you know, in 2025, I believe, August 2025. Today we're going to be continuing Agora Models week, and for that reason I'm going to be doing pack 7 of the Mercedes 300SL Gullwing. Okay, we're going to be making a suitcase in today's one. We're also going to be putting the control board in. Now, we haven't seen this for some time, so this is what it's looking like just there. Now, if you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description, and there's also a QR code on the screen. I haven't actually looked through the instructions, so the first time I see them, I've only looked at the index, is with you now. So let's go and do that. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So we're going to be starting with stage 46 here, which is basically a large suitcase. Check this out. Talk about extravagant. Look at that. It looks good, doesn't it? Obviously, this is going to be going over the top like that. But the first thing I need to do is we're going to be taking these suitcase catch locks that look like this. These are going to go into the holes just here. Now, they are going to need to be glued in. I'm just going to do a test fit. They're going to look just like that. So put a tiniest amount of glue on this and get these into place. So one this side and one that side there. Then I want to take the suitcase handle, which is sort of like a curved bit of leather here, and that's just going to be going into this point just there. And we're going to hold it in with these catches here. Now these are tiny. These look just like that. Let's get these in. I don't think we need glue for this. No, we're not. There's one in there. One in that side there. And what I'm just going to do is just pull that handle up so it has got that little curved effect just like that. Now, this is why I'm glad I use my super glue of a brush, because I want to put the tiniest amount of super glue just into these two holes here. One there and one there. Because I've got the locks to put in. So this is definitely a case of putting these in and then showing you what it looks like. There you go. That's the locks in. Then we can take the whole top section, put that over the top like this. As you can see, they now all match up. Now these are going to be held in with screws. Now on this side there's a tiny pin, which is just going to go into the hole just here. So it's just a case of lining them up. Then grabbing one of these silver screws and screwing this into place. So that's what one hinge looks like when it's in. Just going to do that 2 more times. This is the last screw going in for the hinge there, and there we go. That's all the hinges in place. So much detail for something that's so small, and as you can see, that can now open and close. All that's left to do then is take the lock clasps, which look like this. I'm just going to be putting a little bit of glue just on these lugs here. And push these into place into the 2 holes on this side. So when it's in, that's going to go into the hole of the clasp there. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And there you go. With that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 47, we're still making luggage. And it's going to be exactly the same as what we did last time. So I've got some lock clasps to put in first. So they look like that. Once again, take the handle. Make sure that the curved side of this lever is facing up. And I've got a couple of catches to push into here. These don't need glue. So that's the handling. Tiniest amount of glue just on these holes here for the fixed lock. So now that looks like that. And we're going to put these 2 parts together, because I'm going to be putting the hinges in place exactly the same way. All that's left to do then is just to put some glue just onto these 2 points here again, just for the clasps. Once again, just showing you how that looks when it opens. That's how we close it, and then we can just put these clasps down. So now we've made 2 items of luggage. So bringing over the car here, I just want to take out what we put in last time, which had these luggage straps on. Just like that. So I can actually just hook it over there. And when I put one bit of luggage at the back, then this one just on top there. And then just put this back into position. And there we go. That's those in place. How very civilized. That's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 48 here, we're going to be starting the dashboard. So let's get this open. And the first thing I want to do is I want to put in the dashboard ashtray cover, which is this ashtray cover. Look, it shows the year. That's just going to go in there, but it is held in with a DP screw from the other side. And I'll just be screwing that in here. Then I've got the rear view mirror bracket that looks like this going into the keyhole pattern there. Just like that. And this time this is held in with a HP screw. There you go. That's in place. And then this mirror that's going on, it has got a D-shaped hole in it. So we just need to push this on. But what we want to do is support this from the back, so we don't break the stalk, and it should be angled towards the driver. So that's pretty much in the right position there. Give it a clean, because that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 49 here, as you can see, we're starting to do some of the electrics. So I've got some wire here, and the wire we've got is attached to a switch. So let me just untangle this. And what I always do on this build is hold it as tight as I can there, and then just push the wire really tight just to take all the tangles out of this. I'm not putting any pressure on that contact point there. Let's ensure the switch works, which it does. That's going to be going into this point of the dashboard. So what we do, hold it this way, push it in from the front here, and then mount it into position. And push it down. So it's in like that. And that's how the wire looks from the other side. Now back in stage 3, we had this fascia here and the instrument cluster here, which is just going to be going into this point now. I'm just going to push it in so it looks like that. And then from the opposite side here, I've got an on-off button, which I just need to push into here. It's going to be loose until we actually put these together. The switch is going to go behind that. So if you look on this side, it looks like that. Put this into place on here. Perfect. Just pushing it in. Excellent. It's going to hold itself to start off with, but I am going to be putting some screws in place here, and these are 4 EP screws. Now I'm just about to put the last EP screw in. On this side here by the switch. So once that's in, I just want to check that that button we put in does operate the switch, which it does. That's perfect. Then I need the steering column, which came in stage 3 as well. It has got a flat side on it. I want the flat side to be going down. So this is going to be going on the 2 holes that we can see just there. Just going to push that through. And as you can see, the flat side of that now is facing towards the floor. I'm holding that in with MP screws. And I need 2 of these. So now that's looking like that. All I need then, again from stage 3, is the stalks here. It is shaped, so it can only go in one way. That's going to go on the top of this section here. And just push that all the way down onto there. And there we go. That's all there is to do in that stage. Then stage 50, I'm going to start the dashboard support frame. So, bringing the dashboard back over, I want to put this frame on, but what I want is this cable here to be going through the frame, through this window just here. And I want to make sure that the feet of the frame are pointing towards the front of the dashboard. So when I put this in, it's going in here just like this, but it's looking like that. I'm screwing this in with 2 HP screws. There we go. That's the frame piece in. I'm going to put this to one side and bring the car over, because I've now got the steering shaft. Now the steering shaft looks like this, and I want the angled section here. It's going to go down onto a collar here. Very tricky to show you, but there is a hole under the firewall for this to go. What I'm going to do is put it in position so it kind of looks like that there, but then I need to turn the car kind of on its side. It does want it over, actually. I think I might be able to put it over. I don't want to crush anything, you see. And of course, in the interest of keeping all my mistakes in, this is where I realised I've put this bar in the wrong way round. So I'm just going to detach the bar without taking the wheels off, because I like making things difficult for myself. Take the bar out and flip it around. I do think it's important, if I have made a mistake, to keep them in, because chances are if I've made a mistake, you have too. So remember, got to get this put on a t-shirt. I make mistakes so you don't have to. And I'll probably show you on the top camera again. The reason I knew I made a mistake, because that steering bar that I just put down needs to go into the hole just there. A VM screw is going to keep that into place. And there we go. That's in place. So when I turn this, as you can see, or actually it's probably better this way, you can see that's going to operate the steering there. Now I want to take the dashboard, just leave that there, because I want to pass this cable underneath this bar here through the hole that I've got in the bulkhead. And I'm just going to pull that through with my hands here so I can get this into place. I want this cable to be this side of the steering rod. There we go. I do want to make sure this steering rod passes through this section just here. I'm putting a GM screw just through this side here, which goes into the pillar below it, and then a CM screw just on the other side here. And just do exactly the same thing on the other side. And there you go. That's the dashboard in place. Now, probably best on the top camera, I've got to put these left and right struts in. They're actually going to go behind this section here. And they're kind of fitting on here like this. So to attach this, I want a GM screw, one of these long ones here. This ain't the easiest thing to get in. And then a CM screw just for the flat area, which goes to the frame just through this section here. So that's one side done. That was really hard. Gonna do exactly the same on the other side. You know what? I'm sure there must have been an easier way to do that. But for the life of me, I couldn't find it. But there you go. Both of those struts are now in place. That was hard. All that's left to do then is to attach the steering wheel. So this is the steering wheel we're about to put in place. I'm just going to gently open this panel here. This is going to be going onto the steering column like this. It's going to be held in with an EM screw. Get that on nice and tight. Matter of fact, I'm going to use my bigger screwdriver. Perfect. Then I can just clip the wheel back into position, and as you can see now, that controls the steering. Haha, excellent. Very ingenious way. I've never seen it done like that before. That's a really good, clever way of doing the steering. But that's the end of that stage. Very difficult stage as well. And in stage 51, we have got the circuit board We also got some clips here. So I'm just going to bring the car over and turn this upside down again. Now I am going to just lift up this engine here so I'm not crushing anything underneath, because I need this area just here. This is the circuit board. That's what it looks like. It's going to go in this way just here, held in with MP screws. And then the switch that's coming from the dashboard here is now over this side here. I'm going to need to put this into position. And the first tab that I've got is going to be going into this position here. So what I want to do is pass this lead through this triangular section there. Get one of these brackets, and with a CM screw I'm going to be putting that into place. So there you go, that's the first one. And I'm going to continue going down the run here. They sort of flip direction when we're down on this section here. But then they revert to the original way on this one here. And then the last one I've got just down the bottom here is a really big one actually. It looks like this. And it's slightly different from the others because it is actually held in with a different screw. This is an OM screw. Now I am going to pass this green cable through the same screw here. So because these are going on top, I'm just going to make sure it fits underneath here. I don't know if the instructions are actually telling me to do that, but it is hard to see. But there you go. They're in place. Now the green and red cable's going into socket D, which is over this side. And the black and red cable is going next to it in socket E. That switch in the dashboard is actually the on-off switch. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Now, there's nothing else to do, even though there is 2 stages to do. So I'm going to keep them in the bags, but check this out. We've got the very top section here. Matter of fact, I will open it, just so you can see. That's a cop-out, Wayne, if you don't open it. Check that out. All metal, looking like that. And then after that, we have got stage 53, which is the windshield, which I will keep in here, just to keep that protected. But those 2 parts we don't actually use in this pack. Probably going to be putting that into the next pack. But I'm sure you'll agree, it's looking pretty good, isn't it? You know what? That was a lot easier than I thought, except for these struts behind the dashboard. God, that took forever to put in. But other than that, not too bad. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.